Hi folks, today I'm bringing you an update on the Haix High Liability Desert Combat Boot for the British Army, and if this is the first time you're looking at these boots on my channel, then you'll find an earlier video of an unboxing when I first got the boots. This is now a first review after 800 plus kilometers using them. It's taken me a while to get to that point because I haven't been in the Middle East for the last couple of years because of COVID. Back here now on a relatively short visit, and after reviewing the boots I'll give you a little bit of a story about this fort and where I am. So if you're interested in looking at this area, then just bear with me, and after we've reviewed the boots I'll tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so reviewing these, let's look at what you need in a quality desert boot for walking either in the desert, the sand, or as you can see, hard rock areas. There's different things that will work. As you can see, these have been pretty well used, but still got a lot of life in them. Weight is pretty important. These are a bit on the heavy side, but that is an indication of how well made they are. Even if you've only ever walked on a beach, then you know that soft sand's one of the hardest things to walk in. These are the Tory desert boots that superseded these Haix, just using them today. So weight's an issue, but as I say, these are extremely well made, so I certainly don't hold that against them. They have a rand going all the way round. They are well ventilated. You've got ventilation holes at the top and the nylon sides, so they're good from that aspect. The lacing system on these is pretty good as well, and they've got a high tongue, which is again useful to keeping out the sand, the grit. You know, you don't have to keep taking your boot off to empty sand out if you're in deep sand, so that works well. And they've got sort of a central cleat there on the lace to hold it against your foot. So all in all, the lacing system's pretty good. I prefer the open hooks like these to the latest closed lacing systems, the closed hook systems. You can see they've got a rand that goes all the way round, which is good at stopping the knocks. Now I'm filming this in November 2021, and the temperatures are very pleasant, sort of 25-30 degrees. There's a sea breeze coming in a little bit, so it's probably a little less than 30, but in the summer it would be 48-50 degrees here. So you need a good outsole to stop that heat transfer. You know, if you were standing here in the summer just with socks on, you'd be burning your feet. So a good outsole. These also have a good cushion area as well. So I find them pretty comfortable to walk in on different terrains, whether it's rock or even I'm doing a lot of walking on block paving. Wear wise, they're doing pretty well, I think. I mean, the benchmark for me is the Mindel Desert Fox, where I covered over 3,300 kilometers in that pair. We'll see how well these do, but so far after 800 to 900 kilometers they're wearing pretty well, so I think that over a period they do okay. They're also, you could use these in the UK during the summer or in Europe during the summer, apart from heavy rain. I think they would take, you know, light rain, etc., not just as a desert boot. I think they would cope with that pretty well. So overall, a pretty good boot if you can pick up a pair of these now, say superseded by the Ituri desert boot. So where am I? Well, that's the Fujairah Mountains, and I'm in Fujairah, which is in the United Arab Emirates. And everybody's heard of Dubai, of course, and Abu Dhabi, but there are 7 emirates in total. Apart from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, the Sharjah, which makes up a lot of the country. There is Ajman, smaller emirates of Ajman, Quain, Russell Kamer, and last but not least, there's Fujairah. And Fujairah is about a 2-hour drive across the desert from Dubai on modern highways, so very easy to get to. And this was the ruler's fort dating back to the 16th century. That has a bit of a history with it because these days, of course, the UAE and the UK have some excellent relationships. So much so that during the COVID crisis, the government of the UAE sent a gift to the UK people of a plane load of PPE when we were very short, even though they had high cases here as well. But as we know, even the best of friends or families can fall out, and in 1925 there was a bit of a fallout between the Sheikh that ran Fujairah and the British government, and they sent in a gunboat, HMIS Lawrence, and the ship lobbed a few shells into the fort here, destroying 3 of the towers. It's obviously since been built up, and just to show the Sheikh who his friends were, so he knew who his friends were. Fujairah, like the rest of the UAE, is changed tremendously in the last 30 years or so. This outline now with the towers, wasn't there 25, 30 years ago. So behind this fort, about a kilometre away, is the sea. You can't see it at the moment. And this has been extensively rebuilt using traditional materials over the last, 10 years or so perhaps. Dates from the 16th century. And in the Hajar Mountains there is another old residence of the Sheikhs from many years ago. Their summer fort, because it's cooler to go in the mountains during the summer. You get the summer breeze. I haven't been there for many years, but I have visited it on a few occasions. And now this, of course, is a national monument, the Fujairah Fort. So if you ever get a chance, after you've seen the wonders of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, try and get out to see some of the rest of the United Arab Emirates. They are celebrating their 50th year this year in December of independence. Before that it was called the Trucial States. It was a British protectorate that came from the word truce and the treaties from the 19th century. And then in 1971 they gained full independence, and I think Fujairah joined the coalition in 1972. So early in December they'll be celebrating 50 years of being a country on their own. And of course thousands and thousands, millions of tourists come now. Okay, in the background you can hear the call to prayer for the faithful, and that's 5 times a day. And pretty well wherever the people are, they'll stop, taxi drivers will stop and they'll pray on the side of the road. Shops will close. Again, that's changed somewhat over the years, but people obviously still observe prayer time and they go to the local mosque and pray. So that's the call to prayer. From inside Fujairah Fort. Of course now they're using loudspeakers, where before they used to just call from the minaret of the mosque. But in the modern age, of course, everything has been updated, and now the call comes through, as you can hear, through a loudspeaker system. Okay, so if you get the opportunity to visit Fujairah, come and have a look at the fort. It's obviously free to come in. As you can see, there's not anybody here today. Temperatures are good during the winter in the UAE, 25, 30 degrees, excellent weather. Obviously extremely safe as well. That's an old well by the looks of it. During the summer, of course, it does get up to quite high temperatures, 45, 50 degrees C. So winter is a great time to come if you have the opportunity, now that COVID's finally been got rid of. And there's the flag of the United Arab Emirates. Brief looks again from the battlements of the fort over the Hijaz Mountains. Some of the older city and then the new city as well. People are extremely friendly, and if you want to see how life used to be, then even trying to visit some of the smaller villages in the countryside, which not many people do, is great as well, of course. Everywhere's changed, of course, but they've probably changed the least over the last 30 plus years. Clouds in the mountains. Okay, so back on the boots. So that's my review of the Haix Desert Boots. Excellent product. If you're looking for a high quality desert boot, particularly if you're doing something where you need to do work in the desert or something that's fairly rugged, these are going to do the job. And as I say, you could use them, I'm sure, in the summer in the UK. So that's all from me. So take care out there, folks, and hope to bring you another video in the not too distant future. So it's goodbye from Fujairah Fort.